Imagine this. You've spent years, more than a decade, visiting the same house. You've walked its grand halls, shared in its joys and sorrows, watched its people grow, falter, love, and lose. You've been there for scandalous dinners, quiet heartbreaks, whispered secrets behind closed doors, and the kind of moments that make you feel like you're part of the family. And now, the doors are closing for good. The lights in the windows will go out. The voices that filled the rooms will fall silent. That's the feeling hanging over Downton Abbey right now, as we prepare for what's being billed as the grand finale, the end of a world we've been part of for so long. This isn't just another film in the franchise. This is the supposed final chapter, the story that promises to tie up all the threads we've been following since the very first moment we met the Crawleys and their devoted staff. A moment for farewells, for resolution, and maybe even for one last surprise or two. Of course, with Julian Fellowes, nothing is ever truly final. He's left the door open before, and fans know he's capable of returning to these characters down the line. But for now, all signs point to this being our last bittersweet visit. The trailers alone have been enough to send longtime fans into a storm of nostalgia and speculation. Every frame feels loaded with meaning, every shot like a goodbye glance. And yet there's something curious going on, something not everyone noticed at first. An important figure, one of the show's most complicated and fascinating characters, is missing entirely from the promotional material. Not a single scene, not a single line. Thomas Barrow, the man who has been at the center of so much drama over the years, has been completely absent from every teaser and trailer so far. This omission stands out all the more because nearly everyone else, both the family upstairs and the staff downstairs, can be spotted somewhere in the marketing. We've seen Mary, Carson, Anna and Bates, Lord Grantham, Cora, even newer faces from recent films. And yet, no Thomas. The actor who plays him, Robert James Collier, is confirmed to be in the movie, so it's not as if his absence means he's gone. But why hide him? To make the mystery deeper, we do catch a glimpse of Guy Dexter, played by Dominic West, the charming Hollywood star introduced in a new era. Fans will remember that Guy's storyline took a touching turn when he formed a quiet but unmistakable romantic connection with Thomas. After spending so much of his life isolated, battling both loneliness and the cruel stigma of the time, Thomas finally found something resembling happiness. He left Downton behind to become Guy's personal assistant, which, for the sake of appearances, was a perfect cover for what they were truly beginning together. It was one of the most uplifting endings Thomas had ever been given, and it felt like his long, difficult journey had finally led him somewhere safe and hopeful. So now, seeing Guy front and center in the trailers without Thomas at his side immediately sparks questions. Surely, if Guy is performing on stage in a glamorous West End production, as we see in one shot, Thomas can't be far away. In that very moment, Anna, Bates, and Baxter are shown in the audience, clapping and smiling as they watch Guy perform. It's not hard to imagine Thomas somewhere nearby, perhaps backstage waiting for him, or at home in their shared London residence. The two of them had such a clear connection. It's almost impossible to picture Guy without Thomas in his life now. That's why some fans believe the filmmakers are deliberately holding Thomas back from the marketing. Maybe his role is too important to risk spoiling. Maybe there's an emotional scene, something that hits hard, that they want to save for the audience to experience fresh in the theater. On the other hand, perhaps Thomas's story really has shifted into the background. After all, in many ways, his arc reached its emotional peak at the end of a new era. He had fought for years to climb to the position of butler at Downton, and then, just when it seemed like that was his ultimate goal, he was given something more valuable: freedom, love, and a life beyond the walls of the Abbey. Still, it's hard to imagine Julian Fellowes letting such a beloved and complex character fade out quietly without at least one final moment. A visit back to Downton for old time's sake, a warm exchange with Carson, or even a private conversation with Anna and Bates would be the perfect way to honor everything Thomas has been through. After all, for many viewers, Thomas's growth and struggles have been among the most compelling parts of the series. While the mystery of Thomas hangs in the air, the rest of the Crawley family drama looks as rich as ever. The biggest reveal in the new trailer is that Lady Mary is now divorced from Henry Talbot. Longtime fans had already guessed something was wrong after Henry's unexplained absence in A New Era, and now it's confirmed they're finished. In 1930s England, divorce was still seen as a scandal, especially for someone of Mary's status. The timing couldn't be worse. She's now fully responsible for running Downton, and every decision she makes will be watched, whispered about, and judged by a society eager to see her stumble. Lord Grantham appears to be wrestling with personal issues of his own, though the trailer keeps the details vague. Cora's brother Harold makes a return, and it looks like he's bringing bad news rather than cheerful company. Hanging over all of this are the ever-present financial worries that have haunted the Crawleys for years. The world outside Downton's gates is changing fast, faster than the family may be able to adapt. As the estate enters the 1930s, the question looms. Can they evolve? Or are they destined to be swept aside by modern times? Even without Thomas taking center stage, there's so much to be curious about. Carson may be facing the moment where he has to truly let go of his role. Anna and Bates seem to be in a rare moment of happiness. But if we've learned anything from Downton Abbey, it's that no one's life stays peaceful for long. And of course, there's the ultimate question. Will the Crawleys manage to keep Downton itself? If not, the implications for both family and staff are enormous. The finale is being framed as a true farewell, which means we can expect emotional payoffs and some long-awaited answers. Yet Fellows has never been shy about leaving a little space for the future, just enough that, should he wish, he could step back into this world later. For now, though, we're preparing for a goodbye that's meant to feel final. And if it really is the end, the tone promises to be grand, heartfelt, and fitting for a story that's meant so much to so many. So now we wait. We wait to see if Mary will keep Downton afloat despite the gossip and the challenges. We wait to see if Robert will loosen his grip on the old ways and embrace the future. We wait to see if Thomas will reappear on Guy's arm, living his truth without fear, or if he'll simply return to the halls of Downton for one last quiet goodbye. The beauty of Downton Abbey has always been that it keeps us invested until the very last second. And as the curtain prepares to fall, that investment feels deeper than ever. One last chapter, one last chance to step into this world and say goodbye.